Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, my name is Nigel and this is the Caribbean Culture and Insights channel where we talk about a number of topics and issues that are of interest to the Caribbean culture and its communities. This past March, I released a video on CDs and T-bills, Treasury bills, as to how you can use them to get better returns on your savings in a brokerage account as opposed to a savings account in a bank where the bank pays little to no interest. Back in March, CDs were paying 5.15% return on a 3-month CDs and 5.25% return on a 6-month CD. T-bills, they were paying 4.7% on a 3-month T-bill and then 4.71% on a 6-month T-bill. So the purpose of this video is to share with you an update on where rates are today versus where they were back in March. I will also refresh you on why I did short-term CDs or Treasury bills, and then share with you how well I did with the strategies that I used. So without further ado, let's jump in. Especially if you're new to the United States. Hey guys, Mike Turbo. I don't know much about sunlight. Marketing, you're from the Caribbean as well? Alright, welcome back. Alright, so let's jump in and start with looking at what the rates were back in March. And so as you can see, as I said before, CDs were paying a return rate of 5.15% for a 3-month CD and 5.2% for a 6-month CD. And for Treasury bills, they were at 4.70% for a 3-month T-bill and 6 months, 4.71. And so here are the rates today. CDs. 3-month CD is paying a return of 5.15%. And for 6 months, 5.3. Now look at the Treasury bills. 5.38 and 5.44% for a 6 months. A huge rate increase since we looked at them in March. This is the reason I did short-term CDs and T-bills as opposed to long-term, because if I had done long-term CDs or Treasury bills back in March, I would not have been able to take advantage of these new rates today. So let me show you how I'm able to take advantage of the new rates today. And so what I'm looking at here are some activities of my account and looking at the history. So this is the past 30 days. And I want to scroll down here. So a number of CDs and Treasury bills that I purchased back in March and April, they've matured in July. And so I took that money and was able to purchase new Treasury bills at a discount at the new rates. Wouldn't have been able to do that if I had bought long-term, because all my money would have been tied up in long-term Treasury bills or CDs, and I would have been locked out looking at these higher rates. So as you can see here, this is saying that I purchased 7 Treasury bills, 7 6 months Treasury bills at a face value of $7,000, but I bought them at a discount for $6,826.64. And they're going to mature on December 28th. I purchased them on July 7th. I would not have been able to do that again if I had gotten stuck in a long-term position. I would just have to be like, oh my goodness, look at these rates and I can't do anything. You know, so that's the reason why I bought short-term CDs and or Treasury bills. And so I'm sharing this again to say, you know, if you're looking for better ways to get better returns on your savings, CDs and Treasury bills is a way to do it in a brokerage account as opposed to letting the money sit there in a bank account, because of course the banks don't pay anything. They pay little and nothing. Right? So that is what I wanted to share with you in this video update today, and how well I did. Now, just in case, before I go, just in case you're wondering, how will I do with the purchase that I made? Let's bring up my calculator here and see how I will fare. If I could find the calculator. Okay. Okay. So this is my calculator. And again, this is what I purchased. Just in case you're wondering what these are just some additional maturity that are coming in. Something matured yesterday. I think it's just 2 CDs that I had bought matured yesterday. So I got back the $2,000 at face value, and the interest is somewhere on the screen. I'll have to scroll up and down to see what the interest is. But yeah, but to focus on this one here that I purchased. So let's see how well will I fare at the end of December. So the face values are $7,000. $7,000 minus what I paid at a discount, which is $6,826. I'll put the cents in there, 64 cents. Right? So my return would be $173.36. Now to look at this from a rate of return perspective, we can do the calculation. It's a little tricky to get it exact with the Treasury bills because they don't pay interest. You just purchase them at a discount, and then when they mature, you get the face value, and then you can do some calculation to figure out your rates. But let me just do a rough calculation here to show you what my rate of return is. So the amount is $173.36. So I need to divide this by 6 months, since from July to December is 6 months, right? Remember that it's July 7th, and then it matures in December 28th. So 6 months is not quite exact. It might be off on some days. I would have to count by days and all that type of stuff to get the calculation accurate. But for the purpose of this video, let's keep it simple and just use 6 months. So I'm going to divide 173.36 by 6 months, and this is not correct. Okay, let's try this again. It's 173.36. 173.36 divide by, oh, I'm sorry. What I need to do, I need to divide this by what I spend, okay, to get the percentage. So it's divided by 6,826.64. Okay, all right. And so that gives me, if you move the decimal places, 2 points because it's out of 100, that will give me 2.539 something percent for 6 months. Okay, so to get the monthly, I divide this now by 6, and that gives me the monthly rate, which is 0.423%. And so what is the annual rate in this? So I multiply this by 12, and that gives me, moving the decimal places to 2 places, that gives me 5.789, which if you round it up, it's 5.8% per year. Way better than that 4.71% for 6 months. And again, this is just a rough calculations. I think if I use the number of days and so on, this percentage here might be a little higher, like 5.4 something, but we'll keep it simple for now. So again, rather than keeping your money in a savings account with the bank, moving the money to a brokerage account and purchasing short-term CDs and or Treasury bills can do you a lot better in terms of returns. Why? Because the Feds are in the process of hiking up rates in order to bring down inflation. In March, the rate of inflation was about 5%, and their target was to get it down to 2%. According to the news this morning, we're about, I think they said about 3%, so they have a little way to go. So they'll hike up rates a little bit more to, as an attempt to hit that target. I listened to some analysts earlier this week, and this seems to be going in the direction that the analysts were predicting. What they were saying is that, yes, by the end of this year, they think that inflation will go down to about 3.5% or somewhere there. That's where they think we will end at the end of the year. And then next year, they're thinking that it will move back up to about 4%. So when that happens, the Fed will keep raising interest rate in an effort to bring down inflation. And as they're raising these rates, we're going to see the rates of return and CDs and Treasury bills probably will go higher. And that's the reason why I do short term, so that I can position myself to take advantage of new rates if they're higher. So I hope this video helps to give a little bit more insights on CDs and Treasury bills, and how they can help you get better returns as opposed to just letting your money sitting. All right. Look out for some new videos from me in a couple of weeks on retirement savings. When you come from the Caribbean islands or other developing countries because you want better life or opportunities, you come at various ages, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and even 60s. And retirement is one of the things that you should be thinking about in terms of better life and opportunities, because at some point all of us will get to an age where we can't work anymore, and the question becomes, how do we continue to live? How do we continue to pay our expenses, our bills, right? And so when you come in your 20s and 30s, you're young. You're further away from the age of retirement, which is about 65, 66, depending on male or female, right? And the further away you are, the more time you have to save for retirement. Now, when you come in your 40s, 50s, and even 60s, you're closer to retirement. Does not give you a long time to put things together. So we will talk about some strategies and how to manipulate your retirement savings. Particularly, we look at 401k, and we'll probably talk a little bit about IRAs as well. Now, the video will be about just retirement savings. I'm not using the title retirement planning, because retirement planning is a little bit more involved than just savings. There are other things that you'll need to take into consideration when it comes to retirement planning, savings. And so again, when you come into the country and you're thinking about better life, retirement should come up. And we'll touch on those people who move from one job to the next and forget about their 401k behind, didn't touch it, didn't do anything. Or even people that have current jobs and got 401k that the job offered, and it just sits there. They contribute to it, yes, but it just sits there and they did nothing. They don't know what's going on or where to start to manage it. And a lot of people that I talked to said the reason for that is because it's just frightening to talk about investment, much more, retirement savings. And so the video will walk through some basic steps to help people to understand how to look at your 401k or your IRA and how to manage them. So until then, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. Tell your friends. Drop me a line on other things that you may want to see talked about.